It's time for the Manhattan Pizza postgame show on the Gameday Broadcast Network. Manhattan Pizza, serving the best dang pizza in town. Now let's rejoin the broadcast team on the Gameday Broadcast Network.
And we welcome you back here. Andy Hayes alongside Jim Wheaton. Our final score tonight, Tuscarora defeats Millbrook 41-21. We had some fireworks early with some big plays. Some fireworks in the second half with some big plays. And then finally the Huskies were able to pull out a 20-point victory to improve to 1-0. And the guy tonight that was the story for this ball game for Tuscarora, no question about it. If you ask me, it was Noah Reimers. Obviously, that's a Captain Obvious statement here, Jim, as we take a look at some of the second half highlights here in our Manhattan Pizza postgame report.
Well, I have to tell you, I was commenting that I wish I had known, had a little prognostication of the night that Mr. Reimers was going to have. I would have loved to have just kept track of his yards. You were thinking near 300, easily over 200. But don't know how high he got over 200. But I got to tell you right now, I think he had 100 in the first 3 runs.
Oh, I know it. Well, Millbrook had a great start to the second half, and we're just watching second half highlights here right now. They had their opportunities to pull this game even closer, this one being one of them. Right now it's 21-10, and you know they score here. It's 21-17, whole different ball game. And that tackle was made by Reimers.
Yep.
Forced a field goal.
Yep.
Tyler Gray's kick was good from 35 yards out, and still 21-13. Game was somewhat in hand. It's a one-score game. That is certainly a different story than what we saw in the first half. But then Reimers starts up the engine again, and he was dominant down the back stretch here. That big offensive line plowing ground, and they were able to really get this thing moving once again like they had in the first half. That touchdown run, one of the best I've seen in quite a while, breaking tackles. He was awesome tonight.
Well, Andy, you made a comment that I will remind our viewers and listeners about. And you said right now Tuscarora is doing what good teams do. They close the door. And I will tell you right now, when it got to 21-13, Reimers said, heck, this is not going to happen. And he busted off 2 or 3 runs that just really hurt Millbrook. We really took the wind out of the sail. And sure enough, it resulted then in a 20-point victory, because that time it was a 7-point game.
And you know, at that point, the defense kind of buckled down, and Reimers again breaking off another 30-yard gash. I mean, this was a coming out party for number 4. I mean, if you didn't know who Reimers was before tonight, you will by this week. Watch Gameday All Access, the premiere next week, and you'll get a real good idea on just how well this guy performed tonight. We're certainly showing it to you on the postgame, but we'll talk about it more next week. Millbrook did try to make a run late. They grabbed that fake punt. That was a great play call from Coach Prosser, and that led to an opportunity down here for Justin Anderson to grab a touchdown here in this ball game, but it just was a little bit too late. They were not able to pull that comeback opportunity off, and therefore, at the end of the day, Tuscarora comes away with their first win of the season.
Well, one thing about high school emotion, right? It can get you way up, but adrenaline can only go for so long. So I think Millbrook spent a lot of energy from that field goal to 13 points using energy.
All right, let's send it down to the field here where we have our man, our player of the game, Noah Reimers, mic'd up and ready to talk to us. Noah, give me some thoughts on this big win and this performance from you tonight.
I thought we played really well, and the line just did a fabulous job. But when I can run and all I have to do is make one guy miss and nobody miss, it makes it a lot easier. And our line was making huge holes in there. It was great to run.
Well, it started off early. First carry you had today went for about 50 yards. I mean, you know, tell me about the nerves, number one, starting this ball game out, and then to have it unfold like this. That had to make you pretty excited.
Honestly, I was a little bit nervous before the game, but once I got it here and I had a lot of the seniors talk to me, it calmed me down a lot, and once I got that first carry under my belt, I felt really good, and I felt like I could really play.
This offensive line in front of you, Noah, was tremendous here today. Talk a little bit about what you were seeing. The holes were opened up. You weren't even being touched for 5 or 6 yards.
It was unreal. Every time I got the ball, I felt like I could go because every single guy in front of me was just doing their job, just like Coach Burnett always says, and it was great.
Well, what did Coach Burnett give you as a message down there in the end zone after this big performance?
He told us that we should be happy but not satisfied, and we've got bigger places to go, and we just got to get back to work tomorrow.
Well, Noah, congratulations. I think you might have made a name for yourself here tonight. Good luck to you next week and beyond as you continue here in your sophomore year.
Thank you very much.
All right, Noah Reimers making some big plays tonight, and as we break down and watch some of these highlights, Jim Wheaton, your thoughts on him before we get Coach Burnett in front of the camera and mic'd up here.
Well,
look at these runs. I mean, incredible.
When they talk about running backs, when they talk about vision, right? So I love the fact that he pointed out the O-line because I was complimenting the O-line all night long, as were you.
Yep.
But I got to tell you, beyond that first 5 yards, you got to have some vision. And he talked about making one guy miss, maybe 2 guys miss. He had great vision tonight with the ball in his hand.
Well, right now we're going to be joined by the head coach here of the Tuscarora Huskies, and we'll welcome in head coach Mike Burnett with this. Coach, congratulations. I think you learned some things about your offensive line tonight. They are as good as advertised, aren't they?
Yeah, I was, obviously pleased with their play. They're a group that, I try not to give kids accolades until you play a game, but these kids have worked so hard for 3 years. It's a great group of kids. They really play well together, and tonight they really lived up to our expectations, I think.
Coach, your game plan coming in, it looked like it was just, make them stop you on the run game. I mean, you didn't really have to throw the ball a whole lot in the first half. I mean, after that first quarter, obviously you felt probably pretty good about things, didn't you?
We did. We wanted to throw the ball a little bit. I think we're going to have to as we move through the season, and we took a couple shots, and I thought we looked okay. But we know that's an area of the game we're going to have to get better at. So it's a little frustrating. We had to depend so much on the running game, but that's something we'll work on as we move forward.
Well, when we looked at this game, and Jim and I were up here talking about the grade that we would give you offensively, defensively, special teams. I mean, you're a teacher. How would you grade this performance for all three?
I'm pretty tough on us. I'd probably give us a B+ offensively because I think we got to throw the ball, and the mistake we made in the first half, I think, let them back in the game. That's something we can't do. Defensively, again, I'll give us a B. I think that we did what we had to do. We didn't get any pressure on the passer. We let them sit back there and find some open guys. I thought our secondary played well, but again, we just gave them too much time up front. And I thought we were out of shape, to be honest with you. I think what happened, especially up front, was we got a little tired. We got to play some more guys, and we got to get some more out of some different kids so we can, be a little fresher on the field. So, and special teams, I'll give them a D because that onside kick, we should have recovered ours, and they recovered theirs, and we, botched the extra point, and we sent 10 men on the field. So, a D is about the best I'm going to give those guys.
Well, and Coach, certainly Noah Reimers would probably get an A tonight with his performance here. Grade him for us a little bit. He's pretty special, isn't he?
Well, I'll give him a C just to keep his head in the game.
You're tough, man. I don't know if I can pass your class.
But no, he's, again, he's. I think I caught you guys talking about him right as I was putting the headphones on, and his vision is outstanding. We feel pretty good about getting bodies on bodies, and a lot of it's going to be finding that hole. I thought Adrian ran great tonight too. I think he kind of gets, overshadowed a little bit, but I thought he made some really nice cuts and got some tough yardage for us as well. So we knew we were going to run 2 backs. We've always, run 2 backs, and to have those 2 kids come out like tonight, and I think they both also have a hunger. I think they want to get downfield. They want to pick up an extra yard. And that's going to be a real big thing for us. I think they're great kids, and they will do anything for this team, and I think that's what makes a difference.
Coach, I said something during the game. I said, this looks like a team that knows how to shut the door. You guys open the door for them to get back in, and I know that'll be something you talk about this week about, hey, when you get somebody down 21-0, you got to shut this thing down right there.
Yep, no doubt about it. I thought we had someone open. I thought we had a chance to go up 28-0. To be honest with you, and that would have been it. And Instead, we make a bad throw, and it turns out, 21-3, and then we come out and make a couple of mistakes. Again, it really was a matter of 3 or 4 mistakes, but they seem to be really timely ones for us, and that's what young teams got to learn, is that there's not a lot of room for error, especially as you move through the season. And I think you're right. I think this is a game. Offensively, I think we did. I think even when they got their 2 scores, we were able to get the ball moved right down the field again. Very proud of those kids offensively. But again, defensively, I thought we needed to get a stop a couple times, and we didn't.
Well, overall, it's a 41-21 win, and you guys get to come back and get ready for your next opponent here. Congratulations, Coach. It's a great way to start, and I'm sure there'll be many more great moments here this year.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
All right, Michael Burnett joining us here on our post-game report, and we certainly appreciate his time as Noah Reimers tonight, and that offensive line for the Tuscarora Huskies get a big win over Millbrook here at Jim Wheaton. It was on from the start, as they say, right?
I enjoyed it, Coach. Good job.
What a great performance this afternoon and this evening here by this Tuscarora team. So that'll just about wrap us up here from Millbrook High School. We'd like to thank all of you for watching. Our camera and production crew doing a great job tonight. Aiden Donovan on the main cam, Amanda Hewelskamp and Madison Carter down on the field, and of course Jim Wheaton here on our color commentary. Always fun, Jimmy. Great job. We appreciate you coming out and joining us here tonight. So that's it for everybody here on the Game Day Broadcast Network. I'm Andy Hayes. We'll see you next time.